Well guys, it's finally here. This is the 2021 Acura TLX Type S, and we're getting the chance to drive it around Laguna, Seca today. Let's do a couple laps, show you what this TLX is like to drive, and then we'll debrief and talk about what it feels like, how it performs, and some of the improvements made to this TLX Type S over the standard TLX. Also, stay tuned for the POV First Impressions video going up tomorrow. And I wanted to get this track video out first because it really shows where this car shines. And surprisingly, a very capable car on track. I'm a little bit rusty. This is my first outing on track this year, so not as smooth as I would like to be. Even though this was our first session, it was the faster one of the two that we did in the lead follow laps. Enjoy the drive, and we'll talk about this TLX in a few minutes. Another note, I did forget to turn off the collision mitigation braking system, so that's what that brake light is flashing on the dashboard in every brake zone. Ignore that. I turned it off the next session, and it wasn't a big deal. So, how can we sum up this new TLX? Pretty impressive package. This has an awesome chassis. It really hides its weight. For a 4,200 pound car, this feels more like a 3,800 pound car. It's really impressive. Steering is quick, very precise, very predictable for a variable ratio rack. Brakes feel good. They're a little bit touchy, a little bit sensitive. Took me a couple laps to get used to them, but once I did, we're okay. Because this TLX has an Electro-Servo braking system, it has a 2-phase fade detection system, which you need because of how the Electro-Servo brakes mask brake fade, because they can pump more pressure into the system and you don't really get a soft pedal until your fluid's boiling and you have no brakes. So there's this 2-phase detection system, which is nice. We didn't have any heat issues after 3 hard laps at Laguna Seca, which is a pretty tough track on brakes. I think this new 3-liter twin-scroll turbo engine sounds fantastic. The transmission is a big improvement over the regular TLX. They've really sharpened up the shifts. Downshifts are a lot more immediate. I just left it in automatic in Sport Plus and Sport transmission mode, and it handled this really well. The only complaint I have is that you can't hold gears in manual mode, so it won't bounce off the red line. It'll automatically upshift. For what kind of a car this is, that's fine. I've mostly found the Sport Plus programming to be very good, with only a couple hiccups here and there where it upshifted too early. Suspension tuning is phenomenal. Super neutral and adjustable mid-corner. On throttle, super handling all-wheel drive. Really feels like it's working and transferring power to the outer rear wheels. This is a very, very neutral all-wheel drive system. Super impressed with how super handling all-wheel drive is on track. You can just rotate on throttle, get on power super early, well before the apex, and just it carves through the corner beautifully. No oversteer, no understeer, just puts its traction down and goes where you point it. During this first session, I left traction control on purpose just to kind of see how much it intervened, and it was pretty liberal. It let me have a little bit of fun. The second session, I turned everything off, and the handling was just beautiful. Super smooth, really predictable. Love that you can go just about full off with this new TLX. Overall, this is a pretty fun car on track. The chassis changes here really shine compared to the standard TLX A-Spec and just the 2-liter turbo model. Really nice performance addition to the lineup. This car delivers, and it delivers on the performance and then some. It drives like a totally different animal. So, well done, Acura. It's not often that a stock standard car can do so well all day on track at Laguna Seca. This is not an easy track on cooling, not an easy track on brakes, and it seemed to hold up pretty darn well. They did give a pretty good amount of time between sessions to let everything cool off, but as it sits, this is a pretty good track car, and a pretty good track car usually means phenomenal street car. There's a lot to talk about with this TLX on the street, so stay tuned for the POV First Impressions Drive coming tomorrow. We'll see you guys then. Thanks for watching.